Good morning,
Good
MC.
morning.
Good morning, Janet.
Hi,
Good
Janet.
morning,
How are
guys.
you?
Good, good,
Good.
good.
Good. Guys, it is
Mhm.
currently just a few days before Christmas, and I want to know how y'all are feeling.
I, I don't have words.
Okay. How about you, Janet? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really, really good. This is a new chapter in my life, and it's a new Christmas. I love it.
It's so
Yay.
good. Okay, so guys, this is actually really something because not only has Janet had to get ready for Christmas, also she has just fresh, hot off the presses, reopened her gallery Impressions in a new location in Morehead City. So, Janet, you're really packing it in right here before the big day.
Yes, yes, we were. And as a matter of fact, we did a transition and it was about 10 days. It took us 10 days
That's wild.
to paint this gallery, get the lighting in, get the tracks up and everything. And I have to say, I love my husband and my friend Eric from St. Augustine for helping out and even getting the signs on the building so people now can find us. And
So great.
moving was a big thing, big,
Whew.
big thing.
I
That is
believe it. That's a
huge.
lot of
Mhm.
delicate, fragile things to move.
No kidding. No kidding. Masterpieces. So,
Exactly.
Janet, tell us, people might remember impressions from your previous location, and then, of course, they need to know where you are now. So, please fill us in.
All right, so we were basically a full service gallery with 20 artists, and we were next to McQueen's.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
it was a really large space that I had found in 2021. And I knew that I couldn't fill it myself. So we had a lot of other artists that I knew as friends from Maddie King and from other places and other galleries. And so we had North Carolinian established artists and also emerging artists. So, as you know, it can get a little bit too busy. We had a wonderful gallery, we had receptions, more and more artists, but my business plan had always been to have a gallery and also to be able to paint as a working artist.
Cool.
And the administrative stuff just took over. And when that took over, I was painting less and less. And I think you would appreciate this, Mary, because you know that at times you tend to not put yourself first. You put other people, and I put my artist first. And it just wasn't sustainable. I really need to paint. I want to paint. I've been a full-time painting artist for the past 12 years, and it was just time to transition. And a lot of my artists understood this, and it was a hard goodbye, but it was a necessary goodbye for my own creative growth and also my husband, because my husband David is part of this
Yes.
as the photographer. He's been there since the beginning.
I love it.
We laughed when I first started Impressions next to McQueen's and said, I'll do this if you don't give up your day job as a doctor at the hospital, because I never knew if I would make it. And I did. As a matter of fact, I made it very successful, almost too successful, where it wasn't time enough for me to be able to paint. And I know that I can do it. I mean, I've been juried into Maddie King. I've had 3 featured shows there. I've been with the Arts Council and helped them, get their new building at 1702. I've done a lot, but now it's time for me to do what I want to do creatively.
Love it.
I know, it's really
So
cool.
you've downsized essentially.
I've downsized,
But
but that means that you can come in.
yep.
We do have an open sign or it'll be by appointment. And I'm a working gallery, which means, yes, you can walk in and you're going to see artwork here that you can either talk to me about or purchase, and I'll be painting. And the other thing that I want to have happen here is I'll also do commissions. Commissions have become a big part of my repertoire, as well as the birds, the marshes, a lot of, I would say, coastal North Carolina, because this coastal environment is just so inspiring. It really is. But
Absolutely.
commissions, I enjoy those too.
So say Mary Cheatham wanted to get something commissioned by you.
Right.
All right.
How would you start that process?
Yeah.
All right. The way I start that process is a few questions. First thing I'm going to ask you, Mary, is do you know the size of the piece you want? Because most of the time you have a whole
Sure.
on your wall or space in your house
Good
that
point.
needs to be filled.
Yeah.
So size is really important. I also tell people that they need breathing room around that painting. Don't
Mm,
go right up to the edges of the door frame or the window. You need a painting to breathe. So once you have that size, you can go to town. And then I tell people, even when we were in our other gallery, is pick an artist that you love their style. A lot of people love my style. I'm a little bit between realistic and impressionistic. I'm like right down the middle.
yep.
And I'm very colorful. I'll have a bold palette or a soft palette. But you got to find someone whose style you like.
Mm,
And even if you come in here and ask for a commission by me, and you find that, well, I really would like my children in it, or horses, I'll suggest somebody else to you. I'll
that's so
suggest
nice,
Heather
Janet.
Sink or
Sure.
even Irene Bailey do portraits, because as a community here, artists are resources for each other. It's really important. So now you've found the artist that you want. You know their style. You've got a size. The next important thing is, what's the subject you want? Do you want a marsh? Do you want birds? Do you want a sunrise or a sunset? And then it's the color palette. What is your color palette in that room? And what are your sight lines? If you see a painting from your kitchen to your living room,
Mhm.
it's still got to work. You
That's
have
a
a
great
sight
point
line
from
there.
room to room. Yeah.
My biggest thing that I tell people is, do you have the right blue? Blue is horrible. If you have the wrong blue, if you have and this is kind of funny. I go, if you have a Duke blue and you're an NC blue, it's just not going to work.
Sure,
Right.
sure.
It's
Right.
not going to work at all. If you have a teal blue and then you have, a more cobalt blue, it's going to clash. And let's face it, you pay a bit for a commission.
Sure.
I try to make my commissions very affordable. One of my values is that I feel people should have original artwork. And because of that, it needs to be affordable. The more affordable art I have, the more I paint and the better I get. I get to that next level.
That's such
And
a great point. That's such a great point because it's by the doing that you improve, right?
it is by the doing. Oh, yes.
Yes. Janet, will you lean to your right just a little bit so people can see your setup where see, I love that. I just love seeing that that's so when you go to visit Janet at the new location of Impressions, she'll be right there on her little
I'll be right there. I'll be right
away
there. Yeah.
painting.
As a matter of fact, I want to turn this a little bit because this is
Oh,
actually can you
wow.
see that
Gorgeous.
that sunrise?
It's
That's
so pretty.
actually going to the hospital, to their new radiation and oncology center. And the
Oh,
reason I have it here right now is that I'm painting a companion piece that will be a sunset, which is going to be a lot softer. And of course, it's a donation because we are part of the hospital family with my
yeah,
husband. So, um,
that's beautiful.
we do a lot with community. I think community is really important to myself and my husband. I mean, you do a lot, your Toys for Tots, a lot of even your little tidbits that you give people when you do these little Zoom chit chats. It's all about creating community in the ways you know how.
Right.
Very, very
There you go. That's
important.
well said. That's exactly right. And then the ways that come naturally to you. That's
It
exactly right.
does, it does. And I think for me, it has always been my paintings and also maybe a little bit of organization. I mean, I've been president of a couple of associations here already, but it's also bringing community together. And the art community here, I saw it firsthand in working with the Arts Council with Art from the Heart. The people that adult painters and creatives that come together with the K through 12 community.
Mhm.
It's just the synergy there. It is so important that we boost the arts here in Carteret County. In
Absolutely.
fact, you were part of the assessment that the
Right.
NC State and the
That's
Arts
right.
Council did in saying how important is the arts to the business community.
That's right.
And you talked about bringing in clients. They're looking for culture. They're looking in for
Yeah,
resource.
that's it.
And
Yeah.
that's actually why the 1702 building got built. because there was a physical need to have a presence for the Arts Council to show that the arts was important here in this county.
And so tell us, when you're referencing the 702 building, so you're at 1300 East Arendell. But
Yes, yes.
1702, tell us one more time who's there.
The Arts Council of North Carolina
Okay.
and also the Carolina Artist Gallery,
Cool.
which I led them to merge with the Arts Council to have more resources. And here again, we need resources in this county. As much as I love the gallery that we had next to McQueen's, it's time for me to paint. And my biggest, I want to say, triumph there was having emerging artists have the opportunity to have some of their first shows, and have established artists. But I was always a resource and a stepping stone. I told all my artists, you got to be thinking about what your next step is all the time, because change is always,
afoot.
It's a constant.
There's
Constant,
we say that
constant.
all the time. Our
The
only
only
constant
constant
is
is
change.
change.
That's it. We say it all the time. That's exactly right. Janet, you have to be so proud, not only of the art that you're creating, but the fact that you had such an impact on these other artists, right? Those folks who were established, where you were able to build community around that, but also these newer artists where you were able to be such a big part of their
I
story.
am. I've been very blessed. I think it speaks to what both my husband David and I feel, that we've been blessed with talents, and we're at this point, and you two aren't there yet, about what is your legacy? What have you given back to the community, and what is the legacy you want to be remembered for? And I think the values that we have about community, David with healing. I mean, David takes his photos into the hospital on his iPad, and it is a transition between the photography and the medicine. When he has people that are very nervous, the families are very frightened, he starts that conversation, which starts a relationship. When
Sure.
you really think about the arts, and even your business itself, it is all about relationships.
Absolutely.
How do you put and you calm people, when they're in a hospital situation? And the arts do a lot there. David has done a lot with that. And
That's
I
so
think,
interesting.
like I said, what is your legacy at this point? And to me, I want the legacy to be that we have established a communication and a thread with all of our arts community members. There's just so many people here who are talented, and they need the tribe. They really do.
That's
That's
so well
awesome.
said. I know.
We're so lucky to have you. That's
No
for
kidding,
sure.
Janet. So, Janet, we want to ask you our final question. And before we do that, just tell us quickly, what is your favorite thing about Christmas in Carteret County?
Love.
My favorite thing about Christmas in Carteret County is that my husband always works Christmas. He has worked every
Oh,
Christmas so that doctors that have children can have the day with them.
Oh,
Because
Janet,
we do our
you're such a
Christmas after
gem.
Christmas in January with our family.
That
We
is
go
so
up north,
cool.
and that's how we do it.
That's
I'm
I'm
very
not
proud.
surprised. I'm not surprised, but that's really incredible. Thank
that's
you for
awesome.
sharing that, Janet.
Yes.
And Meg, would you please ask Janet our final
Sure.
question?
I'd love to. We ask all of our guests this question, and we want to know what has been saving your life lately.
What has been saving my life lately has been my husband David and my friend Eric, who came up from St. Augustine, Florida, to help us put all of this together.
Yay.
This came together literally in 10 to 12
Wow.
days. That was
Wow.
it. That was it.
Y'all were busy
They
little
saved my
elves,
life.
Janet.
And
Y'all were
now,
busy little elves.
and now you're open. Your doors are open. People
My
can.
doors are open.
Yep.
There's an open sign, by appointment. Please stop in and say hi. The one thing I hope I have is all those wonderful people and artists that came in to visit. It was more like an extension of our home and our living room than a
Oh,
gallery.
that is
Oh,
really cool.
sweet. I like
That's
that.
really cool. So, guys, y'all please make sure to stop by and visit Janet at Impressions at their new location at 1300 East
E.
Arundel.
Yes.
Oh, E. I got it. 1300 E. Oh my gosh. Listen to me.
I
I
wrote
was,
it
I
as
was,
East
I was
I'm like,
picturing the way I
East
was picturing the way it was going. I was
Me too.
thinking the eastbound. Okay, you guys. Wow. I have Christmas brain, Janet. I have Christmas brain. 1300 E.
E.
Right, and y'all will all remember that now because I messed it up so royally.
Well, they've been redoing this little mini mall plaza.
I know exactly where
And
you are now. That yeah, I can visualize it now. Yes.
yeah, the synergy, the new, how they've renovated, they've been great. They really have. It's an amazing building. Next to us is Beaufort Millwork, and then the next new tenant is going to be specialized lighting. I mean, the synergy
Cool.
here is just
Yeah.
amazing, amazing,
Well, your
amazing.
gallery looks incredible.
It does.
Well,
Congratulations.
thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Way
Stop
to
by and
go.
visit.
We
Yes.
will, Janet. Merry
Merry
Christmas. Good to
Christmas.
Merry
see
Christmas
you.
to you
Bye,
too.
See you
Janet.
Bye-bye.
soon. All right. Bye. Oh man, that's so cool.
I know, that was really neat.
Yeah.
Loved it. Do you have something that's saving your life?
So I think what's saving my life is just taking really deep breaths. And I think, it's so interesting. We're just so lucky, that getting prepared for Christmas is, it is a lot. It
Yeah.
is busy.
Oh, that's
And
true.
that's because we have so many people to love
Yeah.
and so many people that we want to do for and see and celebrate with. And
Yep.
so anyway, that's
I love
kind of
that.
that's what's saving my life.
That's cute. I
Yeah.
love it.
How about you?
The thing that's saving my life is, just of course getting ready for Christmas. I was really sad. I guess this is the opposite of saving my life, but last week we had our Christmas party, our team Christmas
I
party,
know.
and I missed it because we had a wedding, which was a happy thing to go to. But it looked very fun and
We missed you guys.
so jealous.
We
But
missed
lots of
you.
great small businesses were a part of our Christmas party.
I
And
know. And how about Sean wasn't there to play the drums this year?
oh my gosh, did we ever tell that story?
I'm not sure, but you guys, I know Walter's band played last year and
Mhm.
Sean got right on those drums, buddy. No, he had to be coaxed.
That's true.
And then
It
once he
was-
got out there, he was
It
jamming.
was Walter who walked over.
Yeah.
He stopped, he paused his set,
Mhm.
walked over with his drumsticks and tapped Sean. He said, "Excuse me, Mr. Sean,
Mr. Sean.
would you like to play?"
And he did.
Sean was like,
And he did. So we missed our guest artist,
Yeah,
our
that's
guest
true.
musician this year.
"We'll just have to have a big jam sesh
I
in
know.
2026."
Guys, we won't see you until after Christmas.
I know.
We
That's
hope
so
it's
sad.
so lovely. I know. Enjoy, enjoy, and we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.